Hi everybody, Melanie here, featuring on my little baby boa constrictors. So I wanted to make a video featuring some of my snakes because snakes are awesome. So before I start, I just want to introduce this little girl. So her name is Pan and she is a boa constrictor. My two boa constrictors gave birth, and so she is one of the snakes from that clutch. She's 1.5 years old and she's gorgeous and so friendly, and she likes to be awake during this time of the day, so that's why I've got her out. So the reason I even got into snakes in the first place was I was part of a belly dancing group, and the woman who was running the group, she had snakes and she'd dance with them, and in the belly dancing world this is called snake charming, and I was entranced. It was beautiful to watch, and she let me dance with her snake and it was incredible, like no other feeling. Very empowering, wonderful, sexual, sensual, fun. And yeah, so then I ended up getting into snakes and I rehomed quite a few snakes. At one point I had about 8 adopted rescue snakes. I was living with 8 snakes, a cat and a rescue Chinese water dragon. This was around the time when I was overcoming a really painful breakup, the breakup that inspired me talking about BPD in the first place and personality disorders. And I found a way to self-regulate was by getting snakes. They say tattoos are addictive, snakes are addictive. So did you know that there was a study that was held at Huntercombe Hospital in London, part of Roehampton University, and inpatients who were suffering from depression, they were self-harming, they were suicidal, they were given a pet snake to look after, a little one, a corn snake, not a boa constrictor. They showed massive improvements in their confidence and their self-esteem. And why is this? Because not many people are familiar with snakes. When you're in the presence of a snake, when you're handling them, it's unlike handling a cat or a dog. It's very different. For one thing, it makes you present. Like, you have to be very present when you're handling a snake, because they're wild creatures. You know, these, our ancestors would treat these as predators. You know, snake detection theory means like our brain can detect snake objects in the grass so that we can stay safe. So snakes are like something that brings you into the present moment. If you are stuck in a whirlwind of thoughts, a shame spiral, you're beating yourself up, you're having an emotional flashback, quite simply just to get a snake out and to be present to it, it's easy to snap you out of whatever cycle of thoughts you're in. If you're stuck in a vicious cycle, snake is just a powerful way to break you out of it. And I just love boa constrictors. They are just so adorable. For one thing, they've got a little moustache. You see the little moustache? Ah. But they're just so friendly. They're just so friendly, aren't you, little one? So back to that hospital study I was talking to you about, where the residents there were looking after a pet snake, I believe was called Angel, little corn snake. And they felt a lot of improvement in just their overall well-being, their confidence and their self-esteem. And partly it's because when you're not used to handling a snake and you handle one and you like live to tell the tale, you can tell your friends, oh, I handled a big snake and I was all right and it felt good. It's empowering. There's something empowering about holding a snake. When I was doing in-person counselling a few years ago, for some of my clients who were dealing with CPTSD, who were dealing with trauma, sometimes I request to handle one of my snakes in the session and just to sit and just to hold and be present to the snake. And I had a variety of sizes, small ones and big ones. What is it about snake energy that is just so rejuvenating and calming and soothing and exciting all at once? It's unlike anything. All of the earliest civilizations are fascinated with the snake. In fact, the earliest of cultures and pagan civilizations and religions and spiritualities would worship the snake. They both adored it and feared it. It held a lot of meaning And with reference to the ancient Greeks, with Greek being my heritage, so the Greeks were fascinated with the snake, and it was associated with wisdom and the ability to shed periodically and appear renewed. They're associated with immortality. And I'll give you an example. It was Pythos, the snake that guarded the oracle at Delphi. And the oracle at Delphi of Pythos, this came from the earlier time when it was more of a matriarchal spirituality practice in Greece. Gaia was worshipped. This was Gaia worship. So Pythos was a daughter of Gaia. And even when the snake was slain and Apollo took over, it was still retained, the respect of the snake was still retained in the temple. And supposedly the plaque when you entered the temple at Delphi was "Know thyself." The snake is associated with deeper esoteric wisdom and knowledge, seeking gnosis. So I'm particularly inspired by Asclepius. And Asclepius, his symbol, the god of medicine, his symbol is the caduceus, two snakes going up the staff. And we see this with goddess Athena, we see it with Hermes, we see it with Ningishida and the Sumerians. It's an old symbol, and it refers to, from what I think of it anyway, refers to the kundalini energy that gets awoken by will, by practice, by choice, and then that wakens us up. It wakes up all the chakras, wakes up the third eye, and we awaken into our true potential. We wake up, basically. So, yeah. I was inspired by that because the temple of Asclepius, supposedly, they had a temple in Alexandria, which was back then part of Greece. And if you needed healing, you would come to the temple and you would spend the night sleeping amongst snakes. Non-venomous snakes, but nonetheless you're sleeping with snakes. And then the next day, the temple priest would communicate what happened in your dreams, because they would supposedly meet you in the dream state and provide healing, provide information, provide guidance. So it's a combination of sleeping with snakes and the healing in the dream state from the shaman or the high priest. It's fascinating, is it not? And just holding a snake now, I always feel more energy. I feel like it's more alive. And they also thought that the snake could shift stagnant energy. And I noticed that myself when I'm holding a snake, especially when I have one of my bigger snakes on me. And they just go to that muscle ache. They know, they just go to it. And it feels better afterwards. There's something that they do. They facilitate an energetic shift. I don't know, can't prove this, but from owning and handling snakes, I know it. So if any of you are snake lovers out there, please comment below, like, have you had similar experiences of healing trauma? For me, the biggest shift was my confidence. Just handling a snake made me so much more of a confident person. So I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to make more videos talking about snakes and wisdom and transformation. I'm not going to feature a snake in all my videos because I know it can be a bit triggering if you're a bit scared of snakes and there's a video of some girl with a snake in her eye. I get that. I just wanted to introduce this snake series with one of my snakes. So there we go. And she's gorgeous, you know, she needs to be on camera. And I actually wrote a book like a few years ago. So I don't promote it because I decided I actually want to, rather than sell a book, I just want to make videos on it now, make audios based on the content. And the content is about ancient knowledge, esoteric wisdom that was symbolized by the serpent, and how we can apply it to modern day life to help us recover from trauma, to help us recover from CPTSD, to gain confidence and be confident in being our authentic selves, no longer our adaptive self. All right, so I'll leave it there. Bye bye from me, bye from little Pan, and say goodbye. You're just too cute. All right, well, bye for now.